Hello. So this is the lesson for level 3. This is Unit 3, Lesson C on page 26 of your textbook. And this lesson is the speaking practice. Here, part A, the question asks you about national parks in your country. So take a moment to think about this. In the United States, there are several national parks. In California, there's Yosemite, there's Zion National Park, the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone. So be ready to share when we meet some of the national parks that are in your country, and in your opinion, which are the most beautiful and which one is the largest. And part B is the listening, and you're going to hear a conversation between Kim and Diego, and they're talking about Sequoia National Park, which is actually here in California, a little bit north of here. So take a moment to listen. And listen again as many times as you would like. You can also listen and then pause the video and repeat so that you can practice the conversation at home.
Page 26, Lesson C. I had the best time. 1. Conversation strategy. Being a supportive listener. B. Listen to Kim and Diego. What do they say about Sequoia National Park?
This is the most incredible place.
Yeah, it really is. It feels good to be out of the city.
It sure does. You know, these trees are just awesome.
They really are. Have you ever been to Sequoia National Park?
No, have you?
Yeah, I went last year. The trees there are the tallest in the world.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had the best time. I mean, it's just the greatest place to hike.
We should go hiking there sometime.
You're right. We really should.
Okay, so underneath is a conversation matching. So take a moment to pause the video and you'll match the responses on the right to the comments on the left. And when you're ready, we'll check the answers. Okay, so number 1, the weather was great last Saturday. And you should have put D. Mm, sorry. Okay, sorry, I don't know why that happens. Okay, and then for number 2, the city doesn't have many parks. The answer is E. Number 3, we should go hiking sometime. The answer A. Number 4, the lake here is a great place to go swimming. You should have C. And then number 5, the answer is B. So you can see here in this practice, you have words like really, sure, and that's a way to emphasize or show support for what your conversation partner is saying. Okay, so let's go to page 27. And this is practice using superlatives to emphasize your opinion or your feelings. So here, she could say this is an incredible place, but she uses the most to emphasize her strong feeling about the place. And the same here, instead of saying I had a good time, he says I had the best time, which is a way to strongly say that he had a good time. So here you will use the superlative form of these adjectives to complete the sentences. So take a moment to pause the video, write your answers, and then we'll check when you start the video again. Okay, so let's check what you have. Here, number 1, the answer is the most interesting people. And number 2, the answer is the most amazing wildlife. Number 3, remember that good is an irregular superlative. So you'll say the best and you won't use good in your answer. And the same with number 4. You should say the best time. And now the next part is listening. And you're going to hear a radio interview. And I'll play the listening once, but you'll rewind the video to listen as many times as you need. Here, the first thing you'll do is number the experiences 1 to 4 in the order that you hear them in the interview.
Page 27. 3. Listening and strategies. Travel talk. A and B. Listen to a radio interview.
Welcome to Travel Talk. I'm your host, Ray Martin. My guest today is travel writer Jill Ryan. Jill has traveled around the world many times. Her new book is called A Traveler's Tales. Jill, welcome to Travel Talk.
Thank you, Ray. It's great to be here.
Jill, you have the most interesting life. You clearly love traveling.
Yeah, I really do. I love learning new things about the world.
Well, let's talk about your new book. You know, you've been to some of the most interesting places in the world.
I have. And it's those most interesting and most exciting places that I talk about in my book.
So then, tell me, what is the most interesting place you've ever been to?
Well, one really interesting place I visited is Petra in Jordan. It's the most amazing city.
Well, the pictures in your book of Petra are certainly amazing. They're some of the most interesting.
Yes, they sure are. The city is actually all rock. The name Petra means city of rock.
Really? Now, you've been to some beautiful places too. What's the most beautiful place you've seen?
That's a difficult question. There are so many beautiful places. I think Antarctica has the most beautiful natural features I've ever seen.
It sure does. I mean, the photographs of Antarctica are incredible. Okay, let's talk about your best and worst trips. What's the best trip you've taken?
My trip to Copper Canyon in Mexico last year was definitely the best. The colors were just wonderful, and actually, it was pretty exciting. I rode the train through Copper Canyon. I think, actually, that's the most exciting thing I've ever done.
I bet. It looks incredibly beautiful. It looks like the kind of place everyone should go to.
Yeah, they really should. It's the most beautiful train ride. Amazing views.
Okay, well, now I have to ask, what was your worst trip?
Well, 2 years ago, I took a Caribbean cruise. The cruise was great, but I got very seasick. I had to stay in my cabin for 4 days. I didn't see or do anything. So, yeah, that was the worst trip.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. Not fun at all. Well, Jill, I want to thank you for being on Travel Talk. And good luck with your new book.
You're welcome, Ray. It was my pleasure.
Okay, so let's check your answers. So the first trip that she talks about is the visit to Petra, Jordan. And then the second trip she talks about is a trip to Antarctica. The third trip is Copper Canyon. And the fourth trip is, the Caribbean cruise. Okay, so if you need to rewind the video, listen again, and then write the answers for the questions for part B. Okay. So take a moment to pause the video, listen again if you need to, write your answers for part B, and then when you start the video again, we'll check your answers. Okay, so let's fill in these answers for how Jill describes these travel experiences. For number one, regarding Petra, she says it's the most amazing city. Number two, Antarctica, she says has the most beautiful natural features that she has ever seen. Number three, Copper Canyon. She says the colors were just wonderful. Number four, the most exciting thing she's done is to ride the train through Copper Canyon. And then the last experience was the cruise where she got very seasick. So if you have any questions on any vocabulary in the listening or the answers, please let me know. And that will do it for this lesson. The last part of the lesson is a speaking practice. So you can think about what answer you would give for these questions here. So what's the most interesting place you've been to, the most beautiful place you've seen, etc. So for yourself, think of your answers to these 5 questions. And then if we have time during our next Zoom meeting, we'll talk about your work. All right, that's all for now. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.